Hi everyone, this is Glenda Ganzon and welcome to my Nihongo class. For today's lesson is the pronunciation of Japanese syllables. Pronunciation of Japanese words like Tagalog or Filipino is syllabic. It is generally regular in the sense that there is only one way to pronounce a syllable. In comparing the Japanese and Filipino syllabaries, let us take a look at their respective charts. As you will notice, whereas the Filipino syllabary order is A, E, I, O, U. The Japanese is A, I, U, E, O. And whereas the Filipino is A, Ba, Ka, Da, Ga, Ha, the Japanese is A, Ka, Sa, Ta, Na, Ha. Now let us compare this with syllabicated sounds of English words. For example, the pronunciation of letter A in English. In both Filipino and Japanese, these would both be pronounced in the same and only one way and no other else. That is A, as in A, Ba, Ka, Da, Ga, Ha in Filipino, and A as in got to in Japanese. In English, letter is A. When comparing the Filipino and Nihongo's syllabicated charts, you should have noticed that in Japanese, the following Filipino syllables are non-existent, like do, hu, la, le, li, lo, lu, si, and ye. On the other hand, in Filipino, the following Japanese syllables are non-existent also, like shi, chi, fu, wo, za, ji, zu, ze, zo, fa, fe, fi, and fo. The conclusion we can possibly draw from this limited set of linguistic facts may likewise be limited, but initially it may be safe to say that at a glance, at least arithmetically, it could be more difficult for Filipino to pronounce Japanese than for a Japanese to pronounce Filipino words, since there are more non-existent Japanese syllables in the Filipino syllable chart than vice versa. However, historically and linguistically speaking, since the Filipinos have been exposed to a broader range of pronunciation experience due to the colonial past, the truth is the other way around. It is generally easier for Filipinos to grasp Japanese pronunciation than for Japanese to pronounce Filipino words. Some Japanese syllables non-existent in the Filipino abacada can be pronounced by Filipino student generally because his English language background. Example of this would be she from the English word she, and all syllables starting with letter F and Z, again from English alphabet sounds. At this point, the student comes to understand the value of reasonable grasp of English language. However, it is anticipated that student will encounter difficulty in pronouncing to correctly. The tendency is to weigh ju instead. Two other major important features of Japanese pronunciation which are non-existent in both Filipino and English are elongation of vowel sounds and double consonant sounds. The reason that makes those important is basically the fact that the meaning of the word depends on them. For example, shu means sort, kind, type, while shu or shu means weak. Thus, one will realize the gravity of failing to elongate a vowel sound in a word. Likewise, in the word shoken, which means one's opinion or view, and shoken, which means meal ticket, then Again, one sees the importance of careful pronunciation of double consonants. So this is the vowel order. For Filipino is A, E, I, O, U. For Japanese, A, I, U, E, O. Japanese, just like the Filipino vowels, has 5 basic vowels. They are romanized as A, I, U, E, and O. They're pronounced something like A as in awful, I as in feet, U as in mood, E as in met, O as in cold. If vowels are written in combination, each vowel should be pronounced separately. For instance, AI sounds like I to the English speaker, and double O is pronounced by stretching out the O sound, like O and I. The combination of E and I is not pronounced as A. Instead, it is usually pronounced as an elongated version of the E in English, or E as pronounced in Japanese as in met. The vowel U is usually pronounced faintly or dropped entirely, found in the syllable SU, or it is pronounced as S. SU in Japanese is pronounced as S. This is especially true at the end of the words such as des or mas, which then sound like des and mas. Desu should be pronounced as des, and masu should be pronounced as mas. Another example is suki, which tends to pronounce as iski. So I'll repeat: des, mas, and ski. You will be dropped in this matter. For consonants, most Japanese consonants are pronounced the same way they are in English. There are some important differences. However, the letter G is always pronounced as in gun and never as jin. I'll repeat: G is pronounced as gun and never as jin. The CH combination is always pronounced as chocolate and never as charade. I'll repeat: CH is pronounced as chocolate and never as charade. The FU syllable is pronounced more like who in English, except that it is more clipped and is made by bringing the lips close together rather than bringing the upper teeth close to the lower lip in English. So it is pronounced close to who. It is pronounced as fu. The Japanese R is nothing like the English R. Rather, it is more like a clipped L sound. It is pronounced something like the DD in the name Eddie. It is made by flicking the lip of the tongue off at the gums behind the top front teeth. This sound is used as a substitute for the L and R sounds in the foreign words. So letter R is pronounced like L sound. Letter L is pronounced as R sound. The two sound has no good examples of use in English. Instead, listen to these examples. It is pronounced as tu as in tsunami, tuki or moon, tsubasa, or wings, and tsuri for fishing. The letter Y is found in some words, is never a vowel, and it can be in English. Thus, Toyota is not pronounced as Toyota as it is in English, but Toyota. The Y can also act as a glide. Thus, Tokyo, which is often pronounced Tokyo in English, is actually pronounced as Tokyo in Japanese. The N or the letter N in Japanese has two pronunciations. The first is at the beginning of na, ni, nu, ne, no, where it is pronounced in the same as it is in English. The other is where N stands by itself, with no vowel following it within the same word. It is pronounced as a nasal n. I'll repeat, it is pronounced as a nasal n. For double consonants, when a word contains double consonants, the double K in bakin, which means a penalty or fine, for example, they are pronounced separately with a slight space separating the two. In this case, the double K are pronounced something like the KC in bookcase. I'll repeat, the double K is pronounced as KC in bookcase. For the particles wo, ha, and he, when you see the character wo in a sentence, it is usually pronounced more like o. I'll repeat, wo is pronounced as o. When ha is used as a particle mark the subject of a sentence, it is pronounced like wa. I'll repeat, if you see the syllable ha, it is pronounced as wa. For example, konnichiwa, konbanna. I'll repeat, konnichiwa is pronounced as konnichiwa, and konbanwa is pronounced as konbanna, and he is pronounced as e. I hope you've learned a lot from this lesson. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please write in the comment section down below. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the notification button. Also, share this video and like. Until my next tutorial, bye! Thank you for watching.